The entire dynamic of testing comes down to benefits for highly compensated employees compared to non-highly compensated employees. And depending on which test you're talking about, if it's just a deferral only test called ADP, what's going to happen is if you have 40 eligible participants and only 5 of them contribute, and the owner maxes out his contribution, which is usually the owner's intention with sponsoring a plan, we've got to run ratio comparisons. And if that non-highly compensated group is not within about 2 percentage points of the HCE, they've got to take their money out of the plan because they failed the test. So how do you solve for that? Well, that's when you would turn on some form of safe harbor. We'd have a conversation with the client and say, what's going to be the best possible solution for you? What's the best safe harbor mechanism? And given that you already have low participation, a safe harbor match is going to be more beneficial for you because you only have to match those employees that actually contribute to the plan. Now, there's also forced automatic enrollment now, which changes that conversation because we're going to push those people into the plan if it's a plan that's required to have automatic enrollment. And once they're in, you have to fund that match on their behalf. So, depending on when the plan went in, if we don't have to have that automatic enrollment feature, we could design it to where only 3 or 4 people are contributing and only 3 or 4 people are getting a match. The owner gets to max out every year, funds a very small match to 4 or 5 participants, and moves on. But is that actually a beneficial plan or a healthy plan for the demographic of the company? And the answer is, what do you want the plan to do? Is the plan going to be there to support your employees clear into their retirement so that they can retire with dignity instead of working every day until they die? Hopefully the answer to that is yes. If the answer is, we're just a startup, we don't have a ton of excess cash right now, we want to offer the staff something, but we don't want to give away the farm, then that 401k with the match is probably the appropriate vehicle. So depending on where the business is in its life cycle, depending on where the owner is and his own need for retirement savings is going to ultimately determine what the plan design is going to come out to be. And you've got to think through these things when you set a plan up. You can't just go in and say every plan is good with a safe harbor match because that's just simply not the case. And we can do a lot better by putting some forward thinking into the plan design.